Have you ever felt there's more to life than what meets the eye? Do you sometimes sense an underlying order to the universe, hidden just beyond our everyday awareness? If you've ever pondered these questions, you're not alone. Many people feel a pull towards understanding the deeper workings of life in the cosmos. This video will explore the concept of the 12 spiritual laws, ancient wisdom that offers insights into how our world operates on a deeper level. What are spiritual laws, and how do they shape our lives? Spiritual laws are universal principles that govern the workings of the universe and our place within it. They're not religious dogma or human-made rules, but rather fundamental truths that apply to everyone, everywhere, regardless of their beliefs or background. Understanding these laws can help us navigate life with greater ease, purpose, and fulfillment. Let's start with the law of divine oneness. This law states that we're all interconnected, part of a greater whole. It suggests that everything in the universe is linked, from the tiniest atom to the largest galaxy. Our actions, thoughts, and feelings don't just affect us. They ripple out and touch everything around us. When we truly grasp this concept, it can change how we view ourselves and others. We start to see that harming others ultimately harms us, while helping others uplifts us all. This understanding can lead to more compassionate and considerate behavior, fostering a sense of unity and shared purpose. The law of vibration is another fundamental principle. It proposes that everything in the universe is in constant motion, vibrating at different frequencies. This includes not just physical objects, but also our thoughts and emotions. Higher vibrations are associated with positive states like love, joy, and peace, while lower vibrations correspond to negative states like fear, anger, and sadness. This law suggests that our thoughts and feelings are not just abstract concepts, but energies that influence our reality. By consciously choosing positive thoughts and emotions, we can raise our vibrational frequency and attract more positive experiences into our lives. Moving on to the law of action, we find a principle that bridges the gap between thought and reality. While the previous laws emphasize the power of our inner world, this one reminds us of the importance of taking tangible steps towards our goals. It's not enough to simply think or wish for something. We must act to bring our desires into physical reality. This law encourages us to be proactive in pursuing our dreams and ambitions. It reminds us that even small actions, when taken consistently, can lead to significant changes over time. The law of correspondence tells us that our outer world reflects our inner world. This ancient principle, often expressed as above, so below, as within, so without, suggests that the patterns and relationships we see in the physical world mirror those in the spiritual realm. On a personal level, this law implies that our external circumstances often reflect our internal state. If we want to change our life situation, we need to first change our thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes. This law encourages self-reflection and personal growth, reminding us that we have the power to shape our reality by working on ourselves. Next, we have the law of cause and effect, also known as the law of karma. This principle states that every action generates a force of energy that returns to us in kind. Simply put, what we put out into the world comes back to us. This law reminds us of the importance of personal responsibility. It encourages us to think carefully about our actions and their potential consequences. By understanding this law, we can make more mindful choices, knowing that our actions today are shaping our future experiences. The law of compensation is closely related to the law of cause and effect. It states that we will always be compensated for our contributions, whether positive or negative. This doesn't necessarily mean immediate or material rewards. Sometimes the compensation comes in the form of personal growth, wisdom, or opportunities. This law encourages us to give our best in all situations, knowing that our efforts will be recognized and rewarded in some form. It also reminds us to be patient, as the fruits of our labor may not always be immediately apparent. The law of attraction has gained significant popularity in recent years. This principle suggests that like our thoughts, feelings, and beliefs attract corresponding experiences into our lives. If we focus on positivity and abundance, we're more likely to experience these qualities in our lives. Conversely, dwelling on negativity and lack can attract more of the same. This law emphasizes the power of positive thinking and visualization. It encourages us to consciously direct our thoughts towards what we want to achieve or experience, rather than what we fear or want to avoid. The law of perpetual transmutation of energy might sound complex, but its essence is simple. Energy is constantly moving and changing form. This law suggests that all people have the power to change their lives by harnessing the energy that flows through them. It reminds us that no situation is permanent and that we have the ability to transform negative energy into positive. This principle can be particularly empowering when facing challenges or setbacks. It encourages us to see difficulties not as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities for growth and positive change. The law of relativity provides a valuable perspective on our personal challenges. It states that nothing in life has any inherent meaning until we relate it to something else. In other words, what we perceive as a problem might actually be a blessing when viewed from a different angle or compared to a greater challenge. This law encourages us to broaden our perspective and not get too caught up in our immediate circumstances. It reminds us that our challenges are often relative and that maintaining a broader view can help us find strength and resilience in difficult times. The law of polarity, also known as the law of opposites, states that everything has its opposite. We can't know light without darkness, happiness without sadness, or warmth without cold. This law reminds us that seeming opposites are actually two extremes of the same thing. Understanding this can help us navigate life's ups and downs with more equanimity. When we're experiencing something negative, we can remember that its positive counterpart also exists. This law encourages us to seek balance and to find opportunities for growth in all situations. The law of rhythm speaks to the cyclical nature of life. Everything in the universe has a rhythm, a pattern of ebb and flow. We see this in the changing seasons, in economic cycles, and in our personal lives. This law reminds us that nothing stays the same forever. Good times don't last indefinitely, but neither do challenging times. Understanding this can help us maintain perspective during difficult periods, knowing that better times will come. It also encourages us to make the most of positive phases, knowing they too shall pass. Finally, we have the law of gender. This law goes beyond biological sex, referring to the masculine and feminine energies present in all things. In Eastern traditions, these are often called yin and yang. The masculine energy is associated with giving, while the feminine energy is associated with receiving. Both energies are necessary and valuable. This law encourages us to find a balance between these energies within ourselves. It reminds us of the importance of both action and receptivity, of both doing and being. Now that we've explored each of the 12 spiritual laws, let's consider how we can apply them in our daily lives. The first step is awareness. Simply knowing about these laws can start to shift our perspective and behavior. As we go about our day, we can try to notice how these laws are operating in our lives. For example, We can practice the law of divine oneness by treating others with kindness and respect, remembering that we're all interconnected. We can apply the law of vibration by consciously choosing positive thoughts and emotions, especially when faced with challenges. The law of action reminds us to take concrete steps towards our goals, no matter how small. We can use the law of correspondence to reflect on our external circumstances and consider what they might be telling us about our inner state. The laws of cause and effect and compensation can guide us to make more mindful choices, knowing that our actions have consequences and that our efforts will be rewarded. Practicing the law of attraction might involve setting aside time each day to visualize our goals and cultivate feelings of gratitude. The law of perpetual transmutation of energy can inspire us to look for opportunities for positive change, especially in difficult situations. When facing challenges, we can draw on the law of relativity to gain perspective. The law of polarity can remind us to look for the positive aspect in seemingly negative situations. Understanding the law of rhythm can help us stay grounded during both good and bad times, knowing that change is constant. Finally, we can work on balancing our masculine and feminine energies as suggested by the law of gender. This might involve alternating periods of action with periods of rest and receptivity. It's important to remember that understanding and applying these laws is a lifelong journey. We won't master them overnight, and that's okay. The key is to approach them with curiosity and openness, allowing them to gradually influence our thoughts and actions over time. As we become more attuned to these spiritual laws, we may find ourselves experiencing greater peace, fulfillment, and harmony in our lives. We might notice improvements in our relationships, our work, and our overall sense of well-being. We may feel more connected to others and to the world around us, and more empowered to create positive change in our lives. However, it's crucial to approach these laws with a balanced perspective. They're not magic solutions that will instantly solve all our problems. Rather, they're tools for understanding ourselves and the world more deeply. They offer guidance, but it's up to us to put in the work of applying them consistently in our lives. It's also worth noting that these laws don't replace practical action or professional advice when needed. If you're facing serious challenges in your life, it's important to seek appropriate help alongside exploring these spiritual principles. As we conclude this exploration of the 12 spiritual laws, I encourage you to reflect on how these principles might apply in your own life. Which laws resonate most strongly with you? How might your life change if you started consciously applying these principles? Remember, the power of these laws lies not just in understanding them intellectually, but in living them. As you go about your day, try to keep these principles in mind. Notice how they're operating in your life and in the world around you. Experiment with applying them in different situations and see what results you get. Your journey with these spiritual laws is unique to you. There's no one right way to apply them. Trust your intuition and allow your understanding to deepen naturally over time. Be patient with yourself as you learn and grow. In closing, I hope this exploration of the 12 spiritual laws has opened up new perspectives for you. May it inspire you to delve deeper into your own spiritual journey, whatever form that may take. Remember, you have the power to shape your reality and create a life of meaning and purpose. The wisdom of these ancient laws is always available to guide you on your path. Thank you for joining me on this journey of discovery. May you find peace, joy, and fulfillment as you continue to explore the deeper dimensions of life. Until next time, take care and stay curious about the wonderful mysteries of our universe.